Chapter 1. Flashback. As I look back into my introduction to the guitar and the love of making music, I thought I'd share my experiences. April 1986. The neighborhood I grew up in was great. There was always a basketball or football game to be played, or ramps to be jumped on BMX bikes. But when 1986 rolled around, things in my life would soon change. I was in 10th grade, finally in high school, after spending an extra year in junior high, having to repeat the 7th grade. The kids were bused across town to the junior high school, and it was awful, located in the hood. But the high school was just a few minutes from home. So now it was a fresh start in a new school. Springtime had rolled around, and the high school would put on a talent show every year. It was titled The Senior Follies. My friend and I had talked about going to see the talent show, but neither one of us had a driver's license yet. So another friend offered to pick us up, as he was also going to the show. On the way to the talent show, our friend with the car popped in a cassette. The sounds coming out of the speakers blew my mind. It turned out to be the Fair Warning album, my first real introduction to Van Halen. Remember, this was in 1986. I was 16 and still listening to old rap music and Bryan Adams. As I heard the blazing guitar from the cassette, I thought to myself, how the hell is this guy doing that? It was official after that. Within the next few days, I was buying Van Halen cassette albums, one after the other. Later that year, around October, the local radio station would have this little cheesy call-in talent show on Friday mornings. In school, I was kinda known for being able to make a couple of cool sound effects, like the guy from the Police Academy movies. One Friday morning, as I was getting ready for school, I remembered about the radio talent show and decided to try my luck. I remember feeling nervous as I dialed the numbers on the phone, but I thought, nobody's going to know who I was anyway. I couldn't believe I actually got through to the station. The call screener answered and asked what my talent was. I told him I was wanting to perform some electronic drums with my mouth. I was told to stay on the line and hold. After a few moments, I was on the air. The radio hosts asked me what talent I was going to perform. I told him the same thing that I told the call screener. He said, well, all right, let's have it. I did the intro from Aerosmith's Walk This Way. The radio host started laughing some. I thought then, well, I'm done. I might as well hang up the phone. But to my surprise, they were in disbelief and asked me to do it again. Now I'm kind of freaking out, so I did it again. They then asked me if I had some sort of Casio keyboard by the phone. I replied, no sir, just me and the phone. They told me they were shocked at how I pulled it off. I was feeling like I was on cloud 9. It was a cool feeling. As I arrived at school, someone said, hey, Joe, I heard you on the radio, man. That was cool. Even some chicks told me they heard it as well, and told me they liked it. It kind of blew my mind. I was always the guy who never had much of a shot at anything. Always a day late and $1 short in most cases. As I got home that day from school, I walked inside and put my books on the kitchen table. And just in a matter of minutes, the phone rang. I figured it was my mom, as she would always call at 2:15 to make sure I was home. But it wasn't my mom. It was the radio station. Chapter 2. 6-String Fever. I found out from the radio show's producer that I had won the contest. He asked me to display my drum sounds again to verify it was really me. So I did it again. I had now won my first contest. The prize? $100. Back then, to a 16-year-old kid making $3.35 an hour part-time, $100 was a lot of money. They said they would send me a check in the mail. After I gave him my full name and address, I waited. I checked the mail every day after school. It took close to 6 weeks, but as promised, the check came. Earlier that year, a friend and myself went with my parents to the lake for the weekend. We saw a band setting up and getting ready for that night's gig. I was blown away by the guitar player as he was warming up. I just stood there in amazement as I watched his fingers on the fretboard. So, with the winnings from the radio station, I put my first guitar on layaway, just in time for Christmas. I asked my parents if they could pay it off, and that be my Christmas gift. They said they would have to wait and see. But sure enough, I got the 6-string on Christmas Eve, 1986. Not long after, I had heard that Van Halen had released a brand new live concert, live without a net. A friend of mine made me a copy of the VHS video, and now I could see Eddie Van Halen close up and try to cop his chops. Well, I had soon figured that this task wasn't going to be easy. Eddie's lightning speed was the same as a quick kick given by Bruce Lee. I paused the video so many times that it eventually started to damage the video. But progress was being made, very, very slowly. I was always determined to learn on my own, which is stupid, because a little guidance can go a long way, and move things along a lot faster. But after a while, I finally started getting some of the two-hand tapping down. Then later, pinched harmonics and different chord structures. 2 years later, it would be time to take to the stage for the first time.